A sealed chamber, a hidden grave, an underground city with no history, and stones so heavy they embarrass modern cranes. If you think the ancient world is fully mapped, this video is going to feel uncomfortable. Because these aren't campfire legends. They're real places, real artifacts, and real gaps in the record. Mysteries so stubborn that even with satellites, ground-penetrating radar, and modern labs, we still don't have answers. And the most disturbing part is this. Some of these secrets may be preserved on purpose, because opening them could destroy the evidence forever. So here are the unsolved ancient mysteries that refuse to stay buried. Beneath a grassy mound in China, an emperor's tomb has sat sealed for more than 2,000 years, untouched, unentered, and still feared. This is the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, the first ruler to unify China. You already know about the terracotta army. Thousands of life-size soldiers, horses, and chariots standing in formation like a frozen war. But the true mystery isn't the army. It's the central chamber no one has opened. Ancient texts describe an underground palace built to mirror an empire, complete with traps, hidden doors, and rivers that were said to flow forever. The most chilling detail is the mercury. Records claim it was used to recreate China's rivers and seas inside the tomb. And here's what makes that detail terrifyingly modern. Soil tests around the mound show unusually high mercury levels, matching the old descriptions far too well. So why not excavate it? Because we might ruin it the moment we try. When parts of the terracotta army were first exposed, their paint and pigments degraded rapidly in open air. Now imagine what fragile silk, wood, lacquer, or documents might do after 2 millennia in a sealed environment. Add the hazard of mercury, and excavation becomes a risk not only to the site, but to the people working there. So the tomb remains a locked room in human history. And the question lingers: what survives inside a chamber the world has never seen? Now leave China behind and cross to Mongolia, an open landscape so vast it feels designed to hide secrets. Somewhere under those grasslands lies the most famous missing grave on Earth, the burial site of Genghis Khan. He built an empire that reshaped continents, yet his final resting place may be the greatest disappearing act in history. There are no confirmed markers, no public tomb, no monumental structure, not even an agreed location. Legends claim the burial was kept so secret that anyone who saw the funeral procession was killed, and the ground was erased by thousands of hooves. Other stories claim rivers were diverted, forests planted, landscapes altered, anything to ensure the grave vanished. And here's the modern twist. Researchers have used drones, satellite imagery, and massive crowdsourced scans searching for anomalies in the terrain. Still nothing confirmed. Even when potential sites appear, access is limited by geography, politics, and something deeper. Because for many, disturbing that ground is not discovery, it's desecration. So we're left with a paradox. The man who conquered the known world might be protected by something stronger than any army: silence. If hidden tombs are history refusing to speak, then Longyu is something else entirely. In the 1990s, villagers in China drained water from what looked like ordinary ponds, only to reveal something that should not have been there. Beneath the surface were vast man-made caverns, towering chambers, smooth walls, massive pillars, and surfaces covered in consistent carved lines, as if an entire underground complex was shaped with a single plan. Not one cave, dozens. The scale is the first shock. These spaces are huge. The second shock is what's missing. No tools, no inscriptions explaining the project, no piles of debris, no clear evidence of who built it or why. Dating estimates often suggest the caves could be around 2,000 years old. But Chinese records, normally obsessive about major state projects, don't clearly describe anything like this. So what were they? Granaries? Shelters? A secret complex? A ritual space? A forgotten engineering experiment? Every theory collides with the same problem. If this took years of labor, where is the story of the labor? Longyu feels like a chapter torn cleanly out of the archive. And then there's Baalbek, where the mystery isn't hidden underground. It's sitting in plain sight, daring you to explain it. In Lebanon, the foundations of an ancient temple complex include megalithic blocks so massive, they push past what most people think ancient construction could handle. Some of the stones weigh hundreds of tons. And in a nearby quarry, even larger blocks remain unfinished. Giants of stone that were cut, shaped, and then abandoned. The obvious explanation is Roman engineering. The Romans built extraordinary things. But the stones are so large that the question becomes brutally simple. How do you move them? Rollers and ramps sound reasonable, until you consider the weight, the precision placement, and the lack of clear documentation describing a method for blocks of that scale. This is why some researchers suspect the foundation work may predate Roman construction, reused by later builders who inherited a site already impossible. Baalbek forces an uncomfortable thought. Sometimes later civilizations stand on achievements they didn't create. Not every mystery is stone and earth. Some are ink and fear. In Sweden's National Library sits the Codex Gigas, often called the Devil's Bible. It's one of the largest medieval manuscripts ever made, so heavy and enormous it looks like it was designed to intimidate. What makes it a mystery isn't only its size, it's the legend. A monk, facing a brutal punishment, supposedly promised to create a book containing all human knowledge in a single night, then called for supernatural help when the task proved impossible. Historians treat that as folklore, but the book still unsettles scholars for a different reason. The handwriting across its pages appears remarkably consistent, as if written by one person over a long period, suggesting a level of endurance and obsession that is its own kind of darkness. Inside are religious texts, medical notes, historical records, and imagery that fueled centuries of fear. Whether cursed or not, it's proof of something real. Humans don't just preserve knowledge. Sometimes they imprison it. Then there is Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, where the mystery flips our timeline upside down. Massive carved pillars arranged in circles, intricate animal reliefs, monumental design. And the age, over 11,000 years old. Older than metal, older than the wheel, older than agriculture as we usually understand it. For a long time, the story was simple. Farming came first, then cities, then temples. Göbekli Tepe suggests another possibility. Belief and ritual may have come first, pulling people together at scale before permanent agriculture fully emerged. And the strangest detail is what happened next. The site was deliberately buried, not destroyed in war, not abandoned to decay, covered like someone wanted it sealed. That act preserved it, and also ensured we would never see the full picture of why it was built in the first place. So here's the pattern across all these mysteries. Sometimes the past is lost because nature erased it. Sometimes it's lost because humans hid it. And sometimes it's lost because the moment we try to uncover it, we risk destroying the evidence we came to find. Which raises the final question: are these ancient secrets unsolved because we lack technology, or because some doors, once opened, can never be closed again? If you want a part 2 with the next set of mysteries, tell me which one disturbed you the most, and why.